You know, out in the natural world, every single day is a high-stakes game. It's all about breathtaking skill, raw power, and the absolute narrowest of margins. So today, we're going to peek inside the predator's playbook and really understand the strategies that make the difference between a successful hunt and starvation.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. What's the secret sauce? What exactly does it take to be a perfect hunter? Is it all about being the fastest, the strongest, or is there something more to it? We're going to break down the key ingredients that create nature's most elite hunters.
First up, let's talk about pure, raw speed. We're talking about a goshawk just blasting through a dense forest at incredible speeds, or a leopard exploding from 0 to 65 kilometers an hour in a heartbeat. I mean, in a game where life and death are on the line, closing that gap in just a few seconds is a massive, massive advantage.
But hey, what good is all that speed if your prey spots you from a mile away, right? That's where stealth comes into the picture. It's the art of being unseen. Just picture a leopard using the sheer walls of a gully for cover, or a polar bear cleverly circling downwind to make sure its scent doesn't give it away. The perfect hunt, it almost always starts in total silence.
And then, of course, there's just sheer overwhelming power. This is about ending the fight and ending it decisively. Take the golden eagle, for example. It has this vice-like grip that is so incredibly strong it can actually crush the skull of a fox on its very first strike. It's just the ultimate display of force.
Okay, so we've got speed, stealth, power. They're all absolutely crucial. But what if the most important weapon of all isn't physical? What if it's all in the mind? We're talking about genius, the ability to think, to plan, to outsmart your target. And this is where things get really, really interesting. You see, to pull off these incredible feats, a lot of predators have evolved their very own unique set of superpowers. And these aren't just little advantages. We're talking about highly specialized tools that give them a serious edge in their specific corner of the world.
So, let's take that goshawk again. How on earth does it fly at full speed through a thick forest without crashing into a tree? Well, the answer is its unbelievable vision. See, our eyes have one main focus point, called a fovea. The goshawk? It has two in each eye. One gives it this wide-angle view to watch for obstacles, while the other is like a zoom lens locked right onto the prey. It's processing the world at up to 160 pictures per second.
All right, now I want to introduce you to a true master of genius, the Portia spider. This little hunter goes after other spiders, prey that is often way bigger, far more venomous, and, oh yeah, sitting in the middle of a sticky death trap. The Portia spider doesn't survive with brawn, it survives with brains.
So how does it pull off this mission impossible? Well, it doesn't just react, it actually plans. First, it scans the area, building a 3D map in its mind. Then, it comes up with a complex strategy, like maybe plucking a strand of the web to trick its victim into thinking it's caught a bug. And only then does it execute its surprise attack. It's a calculated, intelligent hunt from beginning to end.
So, we've seen what one brilliant individual can do. But what happens when predators team up? Now we're talking about the power of the collective. Because sometimes the most deadly strategy isn't a single superpower, it's the coordinated attack of a team.
Just look at a wolf pack. A lone wolf would have a really tough time trying to catch a full-grown hare that can zig and zag at 60 kilometers an hour. But as a pack, oh, it's a completely different story. They work together. One wolf will push the hare forward, while the others run on the flanks, systematically closing off every single escape route until that poor hare has nowhere left to go.
And this whole group dynamic, it's not just on land. Let's head under the waves. What you're seeing here is a massive sardine shoal. Their main defense is just their sheer numbers. They form this confusing, shimmering ball that makes it really hard for a predator to pick out just one target. At first, you'd think the sardines have the upper hand.
But then, everything changes. Reinforcements arrive, the tuna show up, and they strike from below, cutting off the sardines' only path to safety in the deep water. The trap is officially being set.
And suddenly, it's an all-out feeding frenzy. Copper sharks, common dolphins, even diving birds all join the attack. And what's so amazing is they aren't fighting each other. They're all working together, like this incredible team of unlikely allies. That defensive ball the sardines made, it's just become a prison.
And then comes the grand finale, a bride's whale just surging up from the depths, its massive mouth swallowing thousands upon thousands of fish in a single gulp. The whole thing is a masterclass in collaboration. We're talking tons of sardines gone in less than an hour.
Just a stunning, stunning display of teamwork.
Okay, so we've established that hunting is tough. But what about the hunters who have to do it in the most brutal, most extreme environments on the planet? These are the real specialists, the ones who've evolved some truly mind-bending adaptations to survive where pretty much nothing else can.
Try to wrap your head around this number for a second. 70 degrees Celsius. That's about 160 degrees Fahrenheit. That is how hot the sand is where this little creature, the hot rod ant, does its hunting. Their day starts when pretty much everyone else has run for cover from the heat. They're actually looking for other creatures that have literally collapsed from heat stroke.
I mean, they live life on a razor's edge. They literally cannot stop moving, because if they do, they'll fry. Their long legs keep their bodies just barely off the scorching sand, but constant motion is their only key to survival. Every single second is a frantic race to find food before they too fall victim to that lethal heat.
And from that scorching heat, let's meet an animal that just completely rewrites the rulebook for its own species. An octopus. It's a sea creature, right? Well, this one, the Abdipus octopus, actually walks on land. When the tide goes out, it literally pulls itself out of the water and scurries from one tide pool to the next, hunting for crabs who thought they were safe. It's just a wild adaptation.
So up to now, we've been talking a lot about predator success stories. But that is only half the picture. The real truth, hunting is insanely difficult. And most of the time, predators fail. They're locked in this constant, never-ending arms race with their prey.
I mean, just look at these numbers. Even for these absolute top-tier predators, success is, well, it's pretty rare. A polar bear? It succeeds maybe once out of every 20 hunts. That's a 5% success rate. That's it. And that super skilled goshawk we talked about? It gets a kill in less than 10% of its tries. Every single meal is earned the hard way.
And you can see this struggle perfectly in moments just like this one. Here you have a whole pride of lions trying to take down a single massive buffalo bull. But after a grueling 20-minute fight, the lions are exhausted, they're on the verge of overheating, and the bull, against all the odds, gets back on its feet and forces the lions to back down. The hunted becomes the victor. It's all part of this constant back and forth, this perpetual cycle of adaptation. When a golden eagle is circling overhead, alpine marmots post a lookout. One warning cry and the whole colony vanishes underground. A flying fish will leap out of the water to get away from a dorado, but then it's in the air, the territory of frigate birds. For every new hunting trick, the prey comes up with a new defense.
Which really leaves us with this one big question, right? In this delicate, deadly dance for survival, where success is so rare and failure can be fatal. Who's really the master? Is it the hunter, always perfecting its attack? Or is it the hunted, always evolving its escape? It's a perfect, precarious balance that truly defines the entire natural world.